Hey guys, Rybot here. Let's get started with day one of the puzzle journey. Really fast mention for you. Rybot.com is live. That's VRYBOT.com. So you can catch our live streams when we're live on Twitch, Kick, or YouTube. You see that everything's embedded there in the front. You can join our Discord. This is important if you want to connect with me or other people who have an interest in chess. We have a Discord community, and you can send me a message directly right here on the forum. Our gallery is actually featuring clips, highlights of gameplay, chess, and Fortnite. The services provided, I'm a chess coach. So, scroll through this and see if there's a service that I could provide for you. Check out our blogs if you're looking for any kind of reading on the subjects that we love. And you're welcome to drop me a tip anytime. Help support the streams, the video productions, and get yourself some coaching. Do all that right here, the tipping. So please come on in and join along as we prepare to dive further into the chess puzzles. Get yourself a cup of coffee, a nice place to sit, maybe a bad place to sit, so maybe pay attention more. I have no idea. But anyways, we're going to dive right in to the next series of puzzles, and we're going to do this daily, so don't forget to check back every day for the new video. Okay, so we've had enough with that blank board. Let's get it out of the way. Jump into the puzzles. Now here we go. It's a good first step to look for your checks, your captures, and your threats. I failed a little bit yesterday on a few of the puzzles to look at both threats that I can make and threats that the opponent can make. I think I was focusing more on just what the opponent's threats were, but we're going to be incorporating threats in our moves today, I'm sure. So, checks, captures, and threats that we can do, and also look at the opponent's threats. That's kind of a blunder check, so that's another function when we're trying to figure out a chess position. And then we're building on this list of tactics, so let's figure out what the tactics are we've talked about so far. Very sure we got to removal of the defender. We saw a couple of pins. Can't remember just at the moment what else we saw, but you can always go back to the video for the introduction where we included a few puzzles to get us started. So here, let's count the material. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8 pawns are equal. Dark square bishops, knights, the rooks, and the kings are equal. So we have a very equal position, with the exception that looks like as for checks and captures, I don't see much. I see that this pawn is actually pinned. I see not many captures. There's a capture here. There's a capture here. There's a capture here. Does black have any captures? Black has a capture here. All right, we can put that one in red. So interesting. And by putting all this together, just by drawing some lines, hopefully in our mind, and going through the first step, we should be able to figure out the first answer here. Because this is pinned, unless there's a better move, I already know that I can capture this. That's a free pawn. Let's gobble it up. All right, we solved the first. Let's keep going. Do you have any checks? This one is a check. This one is a check. Do you have any other threats? So this is just a simple liquidation of pieces and a trade. Black can simply recapture ways. Probably best with the queen. I mean the knight. Best with the knight. Why? Well, that will be other lessons. But it's important to notice something else as well. We're actually guarding all these squares here. C6 square is very vulnerable. So it looks like this time we have a fantastic threat to be talking about here. This is the best move. This is trapping the queen. So here we have a queen trap. We trap the queen. The piece cannot save herself. No checks or any tricks to get out of it. So on the next turn, we just simply capture her. That's a fantastic puzzle. we have seen the trapping as well. That was the other one that we saw yesterday. We trapped a bishop. So today we're trapping a queen. Excellent. Yeah, add that to our list of tactics that we're learning. Let's move on to the next. Let's look for checks and captures. I see a check. There's a check. Not much for captures. Black have any captures? Black has a capture. We have a check. Don't have any captures. And, well, these are turning out to be a bit more advanced, this series of puzzles, because there's also threats. And we're working on threats again. This threat here is fantastic. By placing our bishop here, it'll be guarded by the rook. Rook guards the bishop will attack the queen, and the queen likely wants to run away, but the king is living just behind her at the moment, so she cannot. This is called an absolute pin. Let's add that to our list of tactics. Maybe the queen tries to capture the bishop. Well, again, we mentioned that it's guarded. That's the whole point of guarding it. In that case, the queen is trapped with, not trapped, she's pinned. Queen is pinned with bishop to b3. Excellent puzzle. Can we flip the board? Let's go. So, checks and captures. Well, I saw that capture earlier, so I'm just pointing it out. We have a check. We only have one check. We have captures. We have this one capture. We have threats. We can look at that. Actually, I can skip that. In this case, I have a check, also a fork, also known as a double attack. So on the next turn, no matter what, since the bishop can't jump over to guard, fortunately, we're going to be capturing bishop on the next turn. Next! Okay, this puzzle appears to be a bit of a blunder. My original response to this puzzle will forever be ingrained in the unedited version of this video. But it was suggested at first glance that rook to g4 was winning the queen, who was pinned to the king. As soon as I played the move on the board in the unedited version, I realized that the next best move is for me to capture the bishop here or capture the queen back, in which case, either way, black is up material still. Big time. In fact, in this variation, he's going to get our bishop also. In this variation, he's going to take our queen. So this puzzle is a bit of a blunder. We solved the puzzle, but it's a mess. So at least we learned that we're strong enough to find the mistakes in a puzzle. That's a critique and a criticism. Let's go on to the next. If I had to guess, this amazing capture here, and the pawn is pinned, we have won an entire piece. So, checks and captures help us again. We should mention there was a check here. Bishop takes f2. Now that might help lead us to the idea that's inherent in the position. Since we can capture here, well, let's also notice that the pawn is guarding a piece. Let's go ahead and make that capture on g3. Granted that our bishop can't be taken, it can't even be chased away at the moment. It could be something like this. Well, we can come back to guard it. Lucky us. Well, let's move on to the next. Here we have a far advanced bishop and a far advanced pawn. Our bishop's currently under threat. I don't see any captures. I do see bishop to e6. This attacks a rook. We can go ahead and take our bishop. We'll take the rook. He'll go ahead and take our pawn as well. But we've left ourselves with enough material to win the game. So in this situation, it looks like we're winning an exchange. It's not a full exchange. They give a piece and a pawn, so it's considered just the exchange. should be able to guard against this pawn, and our position apparently very good still. Let's continue. Okay, after looking at this position for a moment, I believe it's white to play. So we're going to look for checks and captures. I have a check here. I have a capture here. Not much else. This one happens to be a threat. We're going to use that double attack once again. Here I can see that if I play queen to a5, I will hit c7 and the bishop at the same time. Originally, my eye was trying to go here to hit the bishop, but as you can see, that doesn't work. Then I looked over on the other side of the board and found that I'm coordinating with my bishop and my queen and hitting the dark squared bishop, the white squared bishop, all at the same time. Let's move on to the next puzzle. Oh, by the way, this is called a fork or a double attack. It is a threat. Let's move on. Now, very first glance, I love to make notice that black's queen is really entrenched in our position. That could be either really bad for us or really good for us. Queens can be very dangerous, especially close to our king. We do want to look for checks and captures, but I don't see any checks other than this failure of a move. Knight to f6 is no good. This guy takes, this guy takes. We don't get anything out of that. So instead, I'm looking at possibly trapping the queen. Looking for captures as well. I don't see any fantastic captures. So I'm just looking at the threats once again. And in this case, I'm looking specifically to try and trap this queen right away. And it turns out there's a move. Knight to c2 hits the queen. Let's check all of her retreat squares. This is guarded by a knight. This is guarded by a ton of pieces. Well, the queen and the knight. Maybe not a ton. This escape route is cut off by the rook. This one is cut off by the knight. If she takes, well, the bishop takes. If she takes, well, the knight or the king takes. Nowhere to go. Everywhere across this line is considered our territory. We have full control. So, excellent. We trapped the queen. Another trapping. On to the next. This is a fantastic puzzle. This is from black's perspective. We don't have any checks other than rook to d4. We don't have many captures. Any captures other than rook takes pawn. Between these two moves, let's see which is best. We can calculate a little bit. If rook to d4, then king takes h5, and we have a checkmate. Let's put it on the board. So, alternatively, we have to look at a new variation. What if the king pops in close to us? This one's not mate. The queen will take, and I'm in big trouble. This is a fantastic puzzle. I'm going to play the sneaky move that creates a threat on the next turn. This knight to f6 threatens pawn to h6 in the game. In which case, the knight is cutting off important squares for the king. Pawn checks, got the rest. This is fantastic. If queen takes, we take back. We're winning in material. So, let's try escape. White plays pawn to f4. And it looks like everything is under control. Although, we just happen to have a really amazing move. Knight to e4 check. It's going to fork the king and the queen. This is a combination of several things. First, we found the check. Then we looked to cut off queen. This is a tough move, a very advanced move. Threatening pawn to h6. In the end, get a fork. So as you can see, the tactics start working together like a web, like a spider's web. See you next time. Don't forget to check out our links. You can find these in the bio. I'm an advanced certified coach. Go ahead and drop me a line. You can check us out on Discord as well. Join the community. Drop a tip if you want to support us. Twitter, Chess Club, Instagram, Twitch, Kick, and TikTok. In the next video.